want to welcome everybody here today and thank you all for being here with me. To our elected officials, my public safety colleagues, my friends and my family and members of the private sector, I am very proud and humbled to stand here now and tell you that my name is Katie Goldman and I am the newly appointed by Governor Holcomb Indiana Emergency Management Agency Director. And I would like to take this opportunity to give you a little bit of background about myself. I've been in the fire service for almost 20 years. From 2005 to present, I've been a firefighter. From 2005 to 2010, I was a firefighter and captain with the Marengo Liberty Township Fire Department. From 2010 to 2017, I was the chief of the Metropolis Fire Department. And in 2017 until 2024, very recently, I was appointed the chief of the Gotham City Fire Department. And I'm also a fire instructor. From 2006 to 2012, I was an EMT in the state of Indiana, and from 2012 until present day, I am also a paramedic. In 2016, I completed Fitch & Associates Ambulance Service Managers Program. I graduated from Indiana University in 2021 with a bachelor's degree in general studies, and I graduated in 2024 with a master's degree from Columbia Southern University in fire executive leadership. I want to start off with a few inspirational quotes that kind of carry me through my career and I really think speaks volumes about who I will be as your new Emergency Management Agency Director and about who we should be and who we should perceive ourselves to be and present ourselves as the state of Indiana. So the first thing I would like to read to you is a quote from Franklin D. Roosevelt. "I'm not the smartest fellow in the world, but I can sure pick smart colleagues." There's no possible way for me to know everything about emergency management. I am quite knowledgeable and I'm quite experienced and quite capable and qualified to be in this position. But good leaders make ourselves good leaders by the colleagues and the resources that we surround ourselves with. And I look forward to working with so many amazing public safety personnel and using them to better the state of Indiana, specifically in the realm of emergency management. And the next thing I would like to read to you is kind of a throwback to where I'm from. I am from rural Crawford County in very southern Indiana, and our high school mascot there is the wolf pack. So this is from Rudyard Kipling's book, The Jungle Book. "Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky, for the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack." We take that to heart in Crawford County where I'm from. We're a very small community, we're very tight-knit, and we recognize that we are only as strong as our weakest link, so to speak. And we work really hard to help each other and support each other. We're gonna have to do that within the state of Indiana. If the state of Indiana is a wolf pack, there are 92 wolves, 92 counties in the state of Indiana, and we have to support and recognize the uniqueness of each of those and work with them and to develop them into the very best that each county can be in order to make our state the very best that it can be as well. So the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. And in Indiana, the strength of the state is our county, and the strength of our counties will be our state. So where do we see the future of EMA in Indiana going? I say we because we all have to be a team, and we're going to work towards strengthening that team and those relationships throughout my tenure. This is my 5-year plan. We're going to move towards specialty work groups for all 10 districts, focusing on standardized trainings and procedures, but accounting for the unique variables and challenges that fall in each of these districts. As you can see, we have 10 very distinct districts. They're distinct geographically, but they're distinct in their challenges and the resources that are there and the industry that is there. They're not all the same. And so we can't treat all 92 counties the same, and we can't treat all 10 districts the same. So we're going to need to perform needs assessments and work with the current administrators of those districts and counties to find out what their needs are and how they need support and resources from the state. We're going to move toward involvement in specialized district team establishment and maintenance through training, support, and resources, while again also recognizing team autonomy and unique experiences and needs. I cannot address disaster response, which is a big factor in emergency management at the state level, without addressing the importance of our Hoosier resources, and that mainly being our first responders, specifically our fire service. Because Indiana depends on our firefighters and other first responders daily, every day, with every 911 call, but especially in times of disaster. EMA will continue to support firefighters, paid, volunteer, or combination departments by providing support and training as request and needs assessments determine. We're going to recognize the irreplaceable role that fire personnel play in disaster response and work to best prepare them for such response, support them personally in times of disaster, and aid them and all Hoosiers in mitigation and recovery. We're also going to work to support and outfit those specialty response teams. As fire personnel in Indiana do make up a majority of these teams, we're going to support them with initial training, equipment, and maintenance efforts. EMA recognizes also that in their daily duties, fire departments respond approximately 64% of the times to calls that are medical in nature. We also recognize that Indiana is suffering a healthcare worker shortage in general, near crisis. And we are depending more and more on our fire service for support for daily medical response. In disasters, this desperate need is going to be inevitable, and I intend to work closely to provide encouragement, recognition, training, and preparation for fire departments to best serve their communities in a fire and in a medical capacity whenever needed, whether that be in times of disaster, daily operations, or otherwise. We're going to work on improving our partnerships all around the state. Specifically, we're going to start with our Hoosiers and private sectors. We're going to move toward relationship development and maintenance with proud Hoosiers like elected officials, the private sector, the public safety and emergency response agencies, and everyone in between. We're also going to move toward working closer with our state-established agencies that are pre-existing, like our State Department of Agriculture, the Board of Animal Health, the Center for Education and Career Innovation, the Department of Environmental Management, the Governor's Office, the Indiana Department of Health, the Department of Homeland Security, which houses our EMS and our fire service, the Indiana Department of Health, Indiana State Fair Safety Commission, the Law Enforcement Training Board, the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, also known as ILEA, the Department of Natural Resources, and the Indiana State Police. We're also going to move forward working closer with federal agencies as needed or requested, recognizing that this needs to be a back and forth, a vice versa relationship, where when they request our assistance in various endeavors, opportunities, or investigations, that we also feel free and encouraged to request their assistance as well. So where are we currently? And where are we going to go? In the next 5 years, state EMA will work to have a presence in every community, in every part of Indiana, through cooperation with local EMA agencies and local emergency planning committees, or LEPC organizations. The state EMA will work with other state agencies to offer additional assistance and resources for Hoosier first responders in areas including health initiatives, mental health initiatives, workplace safety, and personal support resources. State EMA will work with state agencies to create initiatives to expand education, training, and career opportunities within the realm of EMA and emergency services to underrepresented populations in the Hoosier State. We recognize that we're not doing a great job presenting opportunities in these underrepresented populations. So we're going to take steps to improve our presence in those communities and our influence on those populations. And we're going to present opportunities for education and training, opportunities to get involved in disaster response at a local level, and hopefully eventually opportunities for expansion even into state level involvement, especially in these underprivileged and underrepresented populations. working across state lines for mutual aid. I have a solid background in emergency medical services in the state of Indiana. Indiana already has, or is already part of the EMS Compact. It's an interstate compact system which allows providers to operate in other compact member states in times of disaster or travel. This allows for some seamless credentialing and licensure verification. And I intend to work initially with our neighboring states, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, and Kentucky, but eventually I want to expand out into these other already participating compact states and interstate compact commissions to expand or develop a system very similar to the current EMS compact system for the fire service and specialty response teams. This will allow us to go into other states and offer support in times of greater need or disaster, and again, have that reciprocal relationship where they're able to come into the state of Indiana and support our Hoosiers again in any time where specialty response is needed or in times of disaster here as well. Additionally, Indiana has limited resources regarding wildland fire operations, and limited resource allotment can hinder those types of program development. A fire compact would make wildland fire programs within Indiana and in compact states more valuable, better utilized, and more impactful across the nation. Moving in the direction of training, professional development, and preparation. Indiana already has a nationally recognized online learning platform in our ACADIS portal. State EMA will work with state information technology professionals and the Indiana Department of Homeland Security, which oversees and manages the ACADIS portal, to further utilize and develop the portal to provide comprehensive and hybrid trainings throughout the state that have previously been difficult to obtain. The state EMA will work toward establishing training programs and instructional staff throughout the state of Indiana, instead of requiring those seeking more advanced trainings to travel to a relatively small radius around Indianapolis or make extremely limited schedules for classes in their own area's work. It is simply not fair in a state that takes 6 to 7 hours to travel from the southernmost to the northernmost border to expect already limited responders to travel out of their response areas and incur those costs to obtain training. We need to make training readily available in all of the areas in the widest reaches of Indiana. We need to make it available to our responders and recognize that there is extensive cost, and that is prohibited to some of our responders from obtaining training that they need and training that we desperately need within our 10 districts. So in summary, as your new Indiana Emergency Management Agency Director, I am making it my goal and responsibility to improve the effectiveness of our operations and specialty response teams during disasters. I am also making it my goal and responsibility to establish and ensure healthy working relationships with other Hoosiers, private sector members, state and federal agencies, all for the betterment of the state of Indiana. Your state emergency management agency will continue to build relationships and have strong presences in local communities, large and small, rural and urban, and everywhere in between. We will continue and grow our support initiatives for Hoosier responders statewide. We will make every effort to diversify Hoosier emergency response by reaching out to underrepresented populations in Indiana to offer them new opportunities. We will continue to use our current effective training methods and make expanding the types, formats, and availability to all Hoosier responders a priority. Again, I'm very proud and very humbled to stand here and introduce myself to you as the new Indiana Emergency Management Agency Director. I'm excited for the possibilities that the Hoosier State has to offer, and I'm excited to work with so many different and wonderful professionals. Again, thank you, and I look forward to the next 5 years and beyond.